Welcome to According to Callus. This is episode 171, and we will be wrapping up the book 444 by Renee Holiday. We are going to do chapter 9 and just kind of briefly some closing comments. It will be a short episode. I've had a busy several days, including the big debate in House District 61, which actually technically is going to show up tomorrow morning, but occurred Monday night, and finally got everything put together tonight. And I got to say, the audio levels are really low, and I can't figure out why, and I can't seem to be able to fix it, but I would rather get it out where you got to turn it up than not get it out at all, because it does no good to go out and vote if you don't know who and what you're voting for. And if you're not an educated voter, I just assume you don't vote at all. And I mean that in all sincerity. So chapter 9, Prosecuting the Criminals. We have to prosecute the illegals and get those convictions to fix the problem. So we have our established moral high ground and a new public recommitment to God and America that will provide each of our local working groups leadership and pastors of our areas. We have a biblically backed method and constitutional law that proves who's guilty of what and what we get to do with them, if you will. So the primary crime is going to be a violation of Article 4, Section 4 of the U.S. Constitution. And she thoughtfully contains an article that she wrote, voting or violating the oath of office is a federal crime. Then goes through what the oath of office is, talks about some of the USC violations, and basically, what is the crime? If it's a communist in office, the crime is violating constitutional law. If the legal chain of enforcement refuses to prosecute or uphold their oath of office and defend the Constitution, then their crime is violating their oath of office as well. And talks about basically anything that doesn't hold to the Republic is a problem. And then chapter 10, getting rid of electronic voting machines. Wow, I'm just having a tough time tonight. Those who vote decide nothing. Those who count the vote decide everything. Does that sound familiar? Well, it should. It was Joseph Stalin. And then she just explains why we need to get rid of the electronic voting machines and the various problems with it, and how they can be hacked and abused. And the question is what are you going to do about it? Then she ends with the benediction. The Lord bless you, keep you, and the Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. And that's the end. Now, I spent 4 episodes. They're not real long episodes, but 4 episodes kind of recapping what was done here. Why did I do that? Well, a lot of people, conservatives particularly, get really bent out of shape and beat their chest and seem very upset about what things are happening, yet they do nothing other than run their mouth. And it's been said if we could only get those people in the church to go out and vote, we would solve so many of our problems. But the church is afraid to flex its muscle or to show itself. Now I know, and I want to be careful how I reiterate this, I don't want the pastor or anybody on the pulpit telling me who I need to vote for. But I have zero problem with the pastor or somebody up on the pulpit saying, this is what the Bible says about these issues or these topics. And when you go to vote, you ought to keep those in mind. Had we been doing that for the past 150 years, perhaps we wouldn't be where we're at now. So at the very least, the church leadership has been complicit with what we've done to ourselves. And the irony of ironies to me is that those who lead the woke churches seem to have zero compunctions about ordering their people out to go vote, yet the mainstream evangelical class is still afraid to motivate their church to go be heard. So you have to be active. You have to be a participant in what's going on around you. Now, you lose votes. Your people don't show up. It's disappointing. It's not fun. But you have to double your efforts. We didn't get to where we are at overnight. We didn't get to the near socialism cesspool situation that which we find ourselves now without the other side working tirelessly, which means we have to do the same thing. Now, I know in Collin County things are pretty good. McKinney, a little less so than certainly what they were 10 years ago, but all is not lost. And if we dwell in the idea that there's no coming back or there's no way to advance our cause, then you might as well just bend over, kiss your butt goodbye, and go jump in a grave somewhere, because it's about as useful as you're going to be. That's not the way to live. The book 444 offers a couple of key things to keep in mind when dealing with where we need to go. I think the next book in line is going to be by Matthew Truella. I'm about halfway through reading it. Also has to do with the doctrine of the lesser magistrates. The whole idea is that local elections matter. State elections matter most. Federal elections, we just got to keep from being the lamb to the slaughter for the time being. The progressives have outworked us, outflanked us, and outthought about it. And we got to figure out how to counterattack, for lack of a better phrase. We have to get our act together. We have to get our church brethren to pull their heads out of their fourth point of contact and understand that God has provided them the very tools they need to protect their families and their country, if only they will go and do the work. Well, my friends, this is According to Callus. I don't even know if I'm going to make 10 minutes out of this. I do want to say that this is going to be coming out really late on Wednesday night. It is my intent to pop out one more episode on Friday. I'm really tempted to do a impressions on the debate. And when I think about it, I'm not sure that that's necessarily the best thing to do, but I think it's important because a lot of people won't take the time to invest basically an hour and 45 minutes to listen to what three different guys want to do as our representatives down in Austin. And this is an open seat. And the reality is whoever wins this primary is more than likely going to be the next state rep for HD 61. And if they win as the state rep, we're probably going to be stuck with them, whoever that person may be, for the next 8 to 10 years. Because it's extremely difficult to replace an incumbent. And this new seat is going to be strongly Republican for the foreseeable future. So while the Democrats will run somebody, the reality is this seat's going to be out of reach for quite some time. Which is not to say that we won't get ourselves a Rhino or a milquetoast moderate or something like that somewhere along the line or right away. I don't know. That is up to us to make sure that we get the best candidate to go down and represent us. And I got to be honest, it may not be my first choice, but being that I didn't run myself, I really can't complain. You got to take what you got as your options and take the best option you get. So please take the time, listen to the debate audio. There will be another chance for another live forum/debate the first week of February. That particular one will probably be moderated by none other than my friend Jim Pickle. And that ought to be quite educational, if not fast. So I don't know they're going to be able to invest an hour plus in the questions and answers, but that's all on the audio that we have provided here for you for free. There will also be a video file of this that we will try and get loaded up somewhere. Dr. Paul Chabot's campaign was kind enough to merge their video with our audio to get us a full layout of the entirety of the debate. We had some technical difficulties that plagued us all night, but we were able to make something happen, and we'll see how quickly we can get something like that posted up. And I assure you, if you are in House District 61, it is well worth your time to see just what these guys say. Whether you believe them or not, that's on you. In any case, I had a total blast and enjoyable time playing moderator for that event, and I was very happy with how that part worked, and they all seem rather pleased with the format and the functionality of it, and I'll look forward to doing it again. And with that, I'll see you on the other side.